John's Secret Dream: The Life of John Lennon, written by Doreen Rappaport. John's mother took his hand. They left their house in the Penny Lane district of Liverpool, England, to go to his new home with Aunt Mimi and Uncle George. His father, a merchant marine, was away at sea. His mother, feeling trapped, didn't want to take care of him. John was only 5 years old. Aunt Mimi was caring but strict, no roughhousing, no comics, but her house was filled with books. Uncle George taught John how to read. John loved Lewis Carroll and his funny-sounding rhymes. John wrote his own stories and drew pictures to go with them. How wonderful to be a poet or an artist! But Aunt Mimi would never allow it, so John kept his dream a secret. When John was 16, his mother came back into his life. A musical craze called skiffle was sweeping Liverpool then. John wanted a guitar. Aunt Mimi said no. His mother bought him a banjo. John formed his own band. Sailors brought back records from America, Little Richard rattling the piano, whooping, hooting and howling, Chuck Berry, poet of rock, singing Upward Slides, and Elvis Presley, the king, wailing, groaning, growling, singing of heartbreak and loneliness. Feelings John had, but was too afraid to share. Rock and roll grabbing John's heart, a driving beat shaking his being, a revolution of rhythm and sound. It changed the world. It changed John Lennon. At a gig, John met Paul McCartney, who could play guitar upside down, while John knew only 2 chords. John asked him to join the group, and they started writing songs. They made up a melody and sang it over and over until they knew it by heart. They worked on the lyrics. John wrote one line, Paul wrote another. Not long after, John's mother died. It hurt too much to cry. John went to art school, but all he dreamed of was rock and roll. Aunt Mimi told him he could never make a living as a guitarist. George Harrison, who played guitar better than either John or Paul, joined the group. They played in smoky nightclubs, dressed in black leather and Texas cowboy boots, throw the mic around, lie down on the floor, shout, jump, stomp, sing. The Beatles recorded John and Paul's songs with a new drummer, Ringo Starr. Wham! One hit single after another. 1, 2, 3 gold albums. Top of the charts. Top of the world, and only 24 years old. Beatlemania swept the world. Wherever the Beatles went, flashbulbs popped, reporters shouted questions, fans screamed and shrieked and fought with police to get close enough to touch them. Wherever they performed, before John sang his first word, the screaming was so loud he couldn't hear George or Paul or Ringo play, and the fans couldn't hear them either. Soon, John felt suffocated by fame and trapped, now married with a son. He moved his family to London, hoping he would be happier. He wasn't. He tried drugs, hoping they'd push his bad feelings away. They didn't. He studied meditation in India, hoping to find inner peace. He couldn't. People in London were buzzing about an artist named Yoko Ono. John went to see her show. Yoko handed John a card. Breathe, read the card. He did, and laughed silently. A magnifying glass was hanging from a painting on the ceiling. He looked through it and read, Yes, in tiny letters. How wonderful to see yes instead of no. The Beatles stopped touring and wrote new songs. People felt longing in John's song about his childhood haunt. Let me take you down, 'cause I'm going to Strawberry Fields. Nothing seems real. His son Julian painted a picture. John responded with a song. Picture yourself in a boat on a river, with tangerine trees and marmalade skies. Somebody calls you, you answer quite slowly. A girl with kaleidoscope eyes. In a recording studio, the Beatles experimented with sounds never before heard in rock music. Let an alarm clock ring. Blow bubbles through a straw. Swirl water in a bucket. Play a comb. Add organs, sitars, mellotrons. Have 40 musicians play their lowest notes to their highest as fast or slow as they want. Play the melody forward, then backward. Rock and roll, anything you wanted it to be. Popular music changed forever. Despite the praise, John secretly wanted to leave the group, but he was scared. I don't believe in Beatles. I just believe in me, Yoko and me. And that's reality. He believed Yoko Ono could help him with the blank spaces ahead. He divorced his first wife and married Yoko. All my little plans and schemes lost in some forgotten dream. Seems that all I was really doing was waiting for you. War raged in Vietnam. John and Yoko wanted to end violence. They held a bed-in for peace as a honeymoon. John dreamed of writing a song as powerful as We Shall Overcome, the anthem of the civil rights movement. One day the lyrics came to him. All we are saying is give peace a chance. Soon, wherever people protested war, they sang John's song. John was not the only Beatle who was unhappy. After 10 years of working together, John, Paul, George, and Ringo went their separate ways. Now John sang mostly solo or with Yoko. He continued sharing his dreams for a more loving world. War is over, if you want it. War is over now. Yoko encouraged him to be more daring. He shared feelings he had been afraid to share. He wrote of the pain of his parents deserting him and of the joy of being a father for the second time. He dreamed about being 60 and being with Yoko. Grow old along with me. The best is yet to be. When our time has come, we will be as one. That dream did not come true. John Lennon was murdered when he was only 40 years old. Now it's up to us to make John's dream for the world come true. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one.